Hey everybody, so the learning target for today is we're going to look at a set of documents and determine an enduring issue that is impacting Eastern Europe. So our outcome for today is enduring issues. Um, and the way you meet that standard is by identifying and defining enduring issues related to a historical time period using text or media. So, do now is pretty self explanatory. Do you believe that a leader should be willing to do any and everything to maintain their power? Explain why or why not. Okay. So for our mini lesson, right, we did not discuss the Cold War, but the Cold War was essentially a non-physical war, so there wasn't like any physical violence that occurred, right? But it was between the United States and the Western powers and Russia, right? At this time, Russia was a superpower, but they were called the USSR or the Soviet Union, okay? So this is what was the Russian Federation, right? And all of these countries that are in red here, right? They were all part of the USSR, okay? Um, all of these countries are considered East Asian, I'm sorry, Eastern European countries, right? Everything here is considered East European. Um, and this is the country that we're going to be talking about today, Ukraine. Okay, and this little small little island below here that is still Ukraine. That is Crimea, right? Which is going to be important to remember also. Okay, um, so basically, what happened is that once the USSR collapsed, they call it collapse of the Soviet Union. All these little countries, they became independent countries, right? They were no longer owned by Russia. They were no longer owned by the USSR, and all these countries in red. Outside of the Russian Federation, they became their own countries, okay? And that happened in 1991. But many of them struggled to build up their economy and build up their government after the fall of the Soviet Union. So it says here the Ukrainian government still faces challenges of economic reform, preservation of civil liberties, which means like the people and the citizens' freedoms, eliminating government and electoral corruption, right? So there's a lot of corruption that's going on in um, the Ukraine, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk about the role that Putin plays in that, and the role that he has played in that. All right, so just to review, because we are going to be doing enduring issues today, an enduring issue is a challenge or a problem that a society has faced and debated or discussed across time. It's something that many societies have attempted to address. Okay, so here is the chart, right, with some of the enduring issues, but these are not all of them. All right. So if you find yourself looking at a document and you're like, oh, I think this might be an enduring issue, but I don't know if it counts, right? Ask yourself these questions. Is it a challenge or a problem? Did it exist in the past and does it exist today? And has it impacted many people? If your answer is yes to all three of these questions, then the thing that you're thinking about is an enduring issue. Okay? So, your independent work. You're going to analyze the following documents and answer the questions that follow. Okay, so give you two maps and one reading, one excerpt from a article, right? And you're going to answer the questions, right? What does the map tell you, right? Based on the map, two questions that are directly related to the article, and then there's going to be one question about what is a possible enduring issue that is relevant in this document, right? So you might want to go scroll back up, look at the chart, might want to just think about it, right? And I gave you the definition here. It says percentage of ethnic Russians in Ukraine by region. An ethnic Russian is basically someone who does not live in Russia, but they identify with the Russian culture, right? So, for example, their religion, they speak Russian, the ideas, right? They got all of those things from Russia because remember, Russia once had control over this this country, right? It was considered part of their union, right? So it makes sense that there are some people who identify as Russians, same way that there are people here in America who identify as Hispanic, right? Or who identify as West Indian, as Jamaican, right? Or Haitian, right? So you're going to answer these questions, all right? And then once you're done, your assessment is going to be what is an enduring issue that is impacting Ukraine and what role has Putin played in this enduring issue? So there's two parts to this question, right? To identify an enduring issue, right? And to tell me what role Putin has played in this enduring issue. And I want you to use evidence from the documents to support your answer. I also want you to make sure that you click on this link, right? Or you can scroll back up in case you feel like, I don't remember what the enduring issues are. You can always scroll up or you can click this link and it'll bring up the enduring issues list. For E-level, you want to explain how the enduring issue you chose to write about in the assessment is also an issue in other parts of the world, because remember, an enduring issue doesn't stand alone, right? It's not just an issue in this one place. Enduring issues are always issues that impact other parts of the world. So remember, if you have any questions or concerns, please email me, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and we can try to figure it out. Okay, I just want to remind you guys to be getting on the Zoom calls, right, at either 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock based on your schedule, so that we can kind of help you with some of this. We're coming to the end of this first session, and I want as many of you to be able to get the credit as possible. Later.